What's up, everybody? Callie Omora here from inhalton.com. I have the mayor of the beautiful city of Oakville, or sorry, town of Oakville, which leads me, Rob Burton, which leads me to the first question, Mayor. Why is the city still designated as a town and not a city?
Well, that's a great question. Look, in Ontario, there are no designations of city or town. All there is a status called municipality. And the municipality is a thing that's created by the legislature, and they incorporate your municipality as a service delivery corporation. And we plow the roads and cut the grass and build the rec centers and the soccer fields and all that stuff. And Oakville has been larger than the smallest city forever. The smallest city in Ontario is the city of Dryden, population 7,000, down 500 from the last census. And Oakville is probably 225,000 now, because we're a couple of years past the last census, and we're a fast growing place. Harry Barrett, the predecessor, one of my predecessors, who was mayor for 6 terms in the 70s and 80s, he loved and Oakville was only 70,000 people then.
Yeah.
He loved to, when people would say the city of Oakville, he would say, yeah, Oakville is a city that calls itself a town and acts like a village. And the legislature in its wisdom has decided that for day-to-day purposes, you can call yourself anything you want. So
Okay.
Oakville is the largest municipality calling itself a town. And our vision is to be the most livable place in the country and to call ourselves a town and feel like a village.
No, one of the questions I got from Instagram about this question said that if you become a city or Oakville becomes a city, it releases funds from the federal government. Is there any truth to that?
No truth at all.
All right. Okay.
There are many legends and myths, urban legends and municipal myths that people choose to believe, I guess because it's fun, but there's just no truth.
Okay, so let's talk about another truth or a myth here. Is there any truth to the Burloak Riocan Plaza rumors that a Costco is going to be built in Oakville?
There is no application for such a thing. The future is a wide open vista, and who knows, in the fullness of time and Costco's vision of itself, where they might choose to try to locate. But the land there is filling up fast, so their chances to do it are diminishing rapidly.
Okay. All right. So that rumor is now squashed forever. So
I don't know. Rumors have a powerful way of never going away.
Sure. So I got to talk about the cannabis again. With Mississauga opting in for legal cannabis sales, Oakville's the last major city in, I think, Southern Ontario that has not opted in. Why haven't you opted in?
I don't think Oakville is ready to go to pot.
Okay. Any reason why, or why?
Well, we just don't get any demand for it.
Okay.
You know? So, and we do get a lot of residents not wanting it. So what are you going to do?
Do you have issues with illegal cannabis shops opening up in Oakville?
Isn't that the same question over again?
No, it's because that's one of the reasons why Mississauga decided to open up legal cannabis shops. So.
Oh. Well, I'm not aware of any illegal shops in Oakville, but we do have a really good police force in Halton. I don't really see a problem here.
Okay.
It's freely available. It's legal. If you like it, enjoy it.
And go out of town to get it.
Well, no, you can call up and they'll deliver it. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Let's all be real here. Look, the bargain was a little bit off-putting for the town of Oakville. I'll call it the provincial bargain.
Yeah.
You would get you would get a meager slice of the profits, but you had no ability to keep the shops from being too close to schools. He had no ability to prevent a plethora of them. And you know, so basically it's a category where planning doesn't apply anymore. And I'm like, get back to us when you want to, when you want to respect basic community differences and have planning, get back to us.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk about development. Midtown Oakville, in the area of Oakville GO Station, will cover 103 hectares and will accommodate 20,000 people and jobs in the coming decades. What's the biggest challenge do you see for the town going forward with in the coming decade, building this?
Well, the first problem is to get the infrastructure in there. At the earliest, we'll get servicing, water and wastewater by 2026, which is a good 3 years away. And we already have applications. And there are additional infrastructure things that need to be done around modifying the QEW as it goes by Midtown so that people can get in and out reasonably well. If you've ever driven to Square One, and you will notice that, and if you're a long time, resident of the area, you will notice that over in Mississauga, they created a special long off-ramp called Centennial Drive that really facilitated the ability to get in and out of Square One. Those are the kinds of things that need to be done. That's a provincial thing. Okay. We need a bus bridge, a flyover over the QEW for buses to come into Midtown, and that's a regional thing. And we need to relocate the path of Cross Avenue, and that's a town thing. So you got 3 levels of government who have to coordinate a whole bunch of expensive infrastructure. And the result is this is a very slow moving project. And in fact, it's more than 20 years since it was decreed, and next to nothing has happened because of how hard it is to get and how long it takes to get the infrastructure in place. Sure. And the 20,000 people in jobs is a minimum required by the province. And we get to split that. And our planning right now is for 13,000 residents and 7,000 jobs. We have a whole heap of growing to do all over the province over the next 10 to 20 years. And Oakville has to add something like 33,000 new, well, we have to give permits for 33,000 new housing units by 2031. Sure. And, at the most, for the start, Midtown will, in that time period, will accommodate maybe 6,500, maybe 6,000 housing units. So okay. they're the least of our 33,000 new housing units that we have to bring in, and they're going to happen all over town. So every area is going to have its share.
We got this question from an Instagram user here. It's what's happening with North Bronte? Is there going to be density like North Oakville for North Oakville?
I'm not sure what they mean by North Bronte, but let's take a stab at assuming they mean Bronte Road north of Dundas. Okay. And because everything down Bronte Road below Dundas is pretty much taken care of, or yeah. It's in progress or done. And so there will be a growth node called Palermo after the heritage name of the area along Bronte Road, basically between Dundas and the 407. And it will not have as many, it won't have the population of Midtown, and it won't have the population of North Oakville, which would be the area of Oakville above Dundas, either side of Trafalgar. Okay. But it will have probably 15,000 people and jobs. And if the split is similar, 2 to 1, it might be 10,000 residents and 5,000 jobs. And that might be 4,000 or 5,000 housing units, depending on what the occupancy level is of each unit. We always have a mix of housing unit sizes wherever we expand. And, there's some family size, some couple size, some single size, some starter size, some granny flat size. Because, it's in 225,000 people, you've got all different kinds of needs and wants for housing.
Sure. Let's talk about speeding here. William Halton Parkway, 60 kilometers an hour is the limit. Over 100 speeders, 11 stunt driving charges have been intercepted the last 30 days. Is this a concern to you? Is there anything that can be done?
Well, it's the punishment for all those folks that got caught, I hope will deter them from repeating the exploit. William Halton Parkway is a relatively unpopulated street yet. And so I imagine people with a craze for speed have been attracted there thinking, oh, I'll get away with it. And guess what? No, they didn't get away with it. So I think this is one of those self-correcting problems. We'll keep enforcing, and people will gradually discover that it's way too expensive to do that. Plus, you lose your car, right? So
yeah, true. One of the questions we got on Instagram: why is Midnight Madness no longer, and will anything take over the Midnight Madness Festival?
I talked to the leader of the business improvement area that is responsible for this, and she explained that the merchants have decided that they by having activities all the time instead of only for Midnight Madness, they've actually gotten a big increase in the health and vitality and prosperity of the district. They've got steady good attendance to the 6-block shopping area, and half the merchants used to complain about Midnight Madness being a loss of business because they would have to close. So it's a BIA decision, and they think Midnight Madness has been replaced by better. I mean, they've got a new stage to perform on, if we can use showbiz lingo here, in that we rebuilt the street and gave the much bigger sidewalks and pretty granite and all that stuff. We're about to rebuild the town square soon, and their theory is that they no longer need Midnight Madness to attract people down to acquaint them with the existence of the shopping district. It's drawing people already. It now draws people on its own, and the incredible take up. We used to have a problem after the recession of vacant stores, and we don't have that problem anymore. So I think it's a good news story.
Yep. Sorry, you mentioned you guys are revamping the downtown square.
Yeah, there's a very small little public square at the foot of George Street, or maybe foot's wrong, but at Lakeshore and George on the south side, there's what we call Town Square. We even add the E to the word town to sound very, old timey and everything. And there's a patch of grass for dogs and kids to roll around on, judged by what they do, and a space that can be programmed with small scale music, and a sort of a courtyard effect of restaurants, and then condos behind and above. And so it's a lovely spot, and a bit of a gathering spot. And it's I guess it's about 30 years old. And everybody's decided that it's eligible for a facelift. And so over the next year or two, we're going to be rebuilding it to be prettier, basically.
Okay, cool. And the Oakville Blaze are hosting the Centennial Cup. What does this mean to the city of town of Oakville? I'm sorry. Town of Oakville.
The city that calls itself a town and acts like a village is expecting 42,000 visitors from all over the country, including all the top junior A players in the country, and as a result, every scout in the country, and maybe from another country, and so it's going to be an exciting time, and lots of games. Should be some of the best hockey you'll ever see outside of the NHL. And the kids will be trying to show their best and get noticed by the scout audience. The moms and dads and kids will probably drop about $5 million into the local businesses, into the hotels and restaurants. So it's no small deal. And, we're very, very proud to be hosting it. We've never been able to host it before. I'm super proud because the quad arena that I built, one of its goals was to attract this kind of activity. And because the Blades are the host, that means they get to play, whether they qualify or not. And so that means they get to show off to the scouts too. So it's kind of win, win, win. Or maybe that's not enough wins. It's win, 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 win.
Well, that's what the Leafs have to do.
Yes. Well, it was a miracle win last night, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Mayor Burton, I don't have any more questions. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, I think it would be wonderful if the Leafs could repeat the miracle that Sil Apps led them to quite a few years ago, possibly before I was even born, which is to win 4 straight at the end after being down 3. So onward and upward, everybody.
Awesome. Cool. Mayor Burton, thank you so much. I'll catch you next month.
Okay, good to see you.